we talked about the
Nuggets.
The Nuggets and Mike Malone getting fired. I'm trying to get the right words on this one. I'm kind of hesitating.
Yeah.
And we already know they're great coaches. We think Mike Malone was a really good coach.
He'll be hired.
Okay?
As soon as
somebody
the
will
job
give him
opens
an
up, he's hired. Yeah.
But I'm starting to wonder, and I say this, and I brought this up earlier too. In the NHL, they fire coaches left and right. The NBA's turned into that, where guys, you win, a couple years later, you're out. Mike Malone won 2 years ago, not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, 2 years ago.
Right.
2023, and he's out. Darvin Ham goes to a Western Conference Finals, wins the in-season tournament, and the next year he's out.
Yep.
Like that. And I'm starting to wonder, when you look at coaching, especially in the NBA, I think coaching in the NFL is different because it's about schemes and getting people in the right situations, and you got 22 players total right out there.
Yeah.
I think coaching is huge in the NFL.
I completely agree. I look at Bill Belichick. I look at Andy Reid. I mean, I look at what he did he got Kevin Cobb paid because he was under the right system with Andy Reid. Michael Vick can't comeback player of the year, balling out MVP candidate because he was under Andy Reid. So, yeah, absolutely. So you get the right guy, right coach, right. Alex Smith.
But in the NBA, I'm more convinced than ever that it's the players, not the coach. And that doesn't mean that the coach doesn't do anything or figure stuff out. But when you're talking about only having 2 players that really matter, sometimes 3, but if you have Kobe and Shaq, you can win.
We got a great shot every year.
Okay? You got people are giving the Lakers a chance now because they got LeBron and Luka.
Mm-hmm.
You start to look around, and you're looking at the Tatum and Brown. They won, okay? And you could say, well, Udoka was the coach there, and they looked like they were going to win a championship on their way, and they put in Mazzulla in, and boom, Mazzulla wins.
Yep.
So where are you as far as, is it the coach? Is it Phil Jackson and the triangle? Or was it Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen?
Right.
Is it Phil Jackson and what he's doing as far as dealing with personalities? Or was it Shaq and Kobe? And you could go on with all these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Celtics, when they won, they had different coaches. Bill Fitch was a coach.
Casey
Jones was a coach. It didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Yeah, during that time with the
80s. Yeah, it was like 3. I'm watching it right now. Celtic City. Yeah,
and they had different coaches. They still won championships. It didn't matter who was coaching. They had the players.
They had this guy named Larry Bird.
And that's why I think in the NBA, it is a players' league. It's about players. It doesn't mean that you can do it without coaching. Because don't you remember one year, Kyrie said that do we really need a coach? We could do this ourselves with the Nets.
It was the Nets. Yeah.
Remember they said about Steve Nash?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
That do we really need a coach? Maybe we could just go out and play.
I mean, he might have been right though, because we ain't seen Steve Nash since. We just seen him on the podcast with LeBron.
But where are you on this? Am I in left field?
No, you're not in left field. I think absolutely the NBA has done nothing but show us, hey, we can do this with or without you, and that owners and general managers are willing to part ways. We just keep mentioning 4 out of the 6 last coaches to win a title ended up getting fired. And that has happened before. It's happened throughout history, not even just recent. It's happened for a long time. I mean, look at Doc Rivers. You win, you go back to another title with the Celtics. You lose in Game 7 to the Lakers. You would think, man, I'm good. Almost won 2 rings. A year or 2 later, he's gone, getting traded, of all things. You traded a coach. So the NBA has shown that here is the perfect scenario, what I want, Rob Parker. What I want, it's like in a marriage. It's like a happy union. I want a perfect marriage. And what I mean is, give me Tim Duncan.
Perfect. Bang on my chest if you think I'm perfect. Go ahead, bang on it.
Give me Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich.
Nobody got that line. Come on, man.
Steve, I was banking on Steve getting
Steve,
that.
no?
No.
Bang on my chest if you think I'm perfect. Go ahead. Bang on it.
I don't know.
It's a Tin Man. No heart.
I forgot you do watch that weekly.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's my bad. And I love that. I love The Wizard of Oz. Give me Tim Duncan.
What an echo. It's hollow. The Tinsmith forgot to give me a heart.
Steve, who
no
you
heart?
never want to watch a movie with or watch shows.
No heart.
Yeah. You're the person who know every line and just, it's like, why don't I just pay you to just repeat the lines? All right. You got any more?
I'm out.
Before I get to
Go
cooking
ahead.
again?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Give me Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich. Give me Kobe, specifically Kobe, with Phil Jackson, right? Because I'm getting the 3 with Shaq and I'm getting the 2 without Shaq. Give me the perfect marriage. I think that's the way you can lock into something special. Because you can get a coach, pop in, win one, and then he's gone. Budenholzer with the Bucks, right? Oh, yeah, Nick Nurse with the man. Or was it really Kawhi came to Toronto and they won? Was Nick Nurse really
bounce?
Yep.
Remember that? That's how close they were from not even
Game 7 versus Philly. Yep. So to me, the way to become dynastic is you get the Steve Kerr, and I got my Steph Curry. I got my Phil Jackson. I got my Mike. I got my Phil Jackson. I got my Kobe. I got my Tim Duncan. I got my Greg Popovich. I think those are the guys. I got Pat Riley. I got my Magic Johnson. That's the way you become dynastic. So I think you can get one-offs. You can win a random championship here or there. You can do a little something like that. But to really, really win and become a place where you're dominating, I need my Patrick Mahomes and my Andy Reid. I need my Bill Belichick and my Tom Brady, Bill Walsh, Joe Montana. That's what I want. I want the perfect marriage. Don't we all? Well,
I had it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't think you want. I don't even think you want it anymore. So that's for me.
I was married.
Think
I'm good.
Yeah, I think you can obviously win without having a sustained coach. We've seen guys pop off one here and there, but I just think if you can lock in, you can have your Chuck Daly with the Pistons, and you go to 3 straight finals in 88, 89, 90, you win 2 of the 3. You know what I mean? You got something cooking there. And so to me, that's what I'm trying to find. I want to find my guy paired with my superstar and let them be peanut butter and jelly, which always goes well. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Steve. Give me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm sorry. That's what I want.
I'm just curious as we continue to go on, and there aren't that many coaches, the longevity thing is out. And I think the players, the power, the money, and they just move on. If you don't win or players aren't feeling you or whatever, they'll just move on from you. Very seldom. There's one situation, and we got to call it out, in Miami, where LeBron tried to get Eric Spoelstra. Mm-hmm. Remember that? I want him out. He tried
to big dog him and all that. Pat Riley's like, man, that's my guy.
Yep, and he ain't going nowhere.
And still hasn't.
And he's still there, making a ton of money. Now, they ain't won, Jack. They've been to the finals a couple times.
He's a good coach, but by now you'd want that title. But he's a good coach.
Right.
But I respect what Pat Riley specifically is doing there, because it's like, this is my guy, and we've been good with him. We haven't won everything, but we've been good. We've gone to a couple finals. This is our guy. And that's what, to me, I respect that. Like, riding with somebody. It don't always have to be, it ain't going to be perfect. The Warriors were terrible before Jimmy Butler comes. Now they're good and research. Like, you ride this thing out. It ain't always going to be, like a great marriage. But it ain't always perfect. Every day ain't easy.
But does that say anything about some of the great coaches? Does that say anything about Phil Jackson? I mean, he was a winner, but you got to admit he had 4 of the greatest players who ever played.
I ain't going to argue with that.
Okay.
But
I'm asking,
why couldn't Dale Harris win with Shaq and Kobe? Why when Phil Jackson dipped out, they couldn't do anything without him. They had to call him back. Phil, what you doing? Come on back. I'm sorry. Come on back, Phil. Come on back. Doug Collins was doing, he was marching up a little bit.
Yeah, but
Phil Jackson came.
He had an issue with the ownership. I mean, that's Doug Collins, because Doug Collins is a good coach.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm thinking.
Doug, he didn't win anywhere though, right?
No.
Larry
Brown was a good coach. I saw it up front. When they beat the Lakers in 2004.
Just that small tweak, whatever he can get, because the Pistons were good before him. But
I just wonder, like, is it as important? I just don't think it's as important as other sports. I really don't.
That only having 5 players on your team out at one time.
We're talking about that matter, right?
That matter. Because if I have 2005 to 2015 LeBron, I mean, I have a great chance of winning 60, 55, 58, 60 games and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals minimum. Because he's just the best player. He's that good. If I have prime Shaq for 6 years,